10 Reasons You Should Never Get a Job. July 21, 2006 by Steve Pavlina. Just for fun, I recently asked Erin, now that the kids are in summer school, don't you think it's about time you went out and got yourself a job? I hate seeing you wallow in unemployment for so long. She smiled and said, wow. I have been unemployed a really long time. That's weird. I like it. Neither of us have had jobs since the single quote 90s. My only job was in 1992, so we've been self-employed for quite a while. In our household it's a running joke for one of us to say to the other, maybe you should get a job, derelict. It's like the scene in The Three Stooges where Moe tells Curly to get a job, and Curly backs away, saying, no, please not that. Anything but that. It's funny that when people reach a certain age, such as after graduating college, they assume it's time to go out and get a job. But like many things the masses do, just because everyone does it doesn't mean it's a good idea. In fact, if you're reasonably intelligent, getting a job is one of the worst things you can do to support yourself. There are far better ways to make a living than selling yourself into indentured servitude. Here are some reasons you should do everything in your power to avoid getting a job.
Getting a job and trading your time for money may seem like a good idea. There's only one problem with it. It's stupid. It's the stupidest way you can possibly generate income. This is truly income for dummies. Why is getting a job so dumb? Because you only get paid when you're working. Don't you see a problem with that? Or have you been so thoroughly brainwashed into thinking it's reasonable and intelligent to only earn income when you're working? Have you never considered that it might be better to be paid even when you're not working? Who taught you that you could only earn income while working? Some other brainwashed employee, perhaps? Don't you think your life would be much easier if you got paid while you were eating, sleeping, and playing with the kids too? Why not get paid 24/7? Get paid whether you work or not. Don't your plants grow even when you aren't tending to them? Why not your bank account? Who cares how many hours you work? Only a handful of people on this entire planet care how much time you spend at the office. Most of us won't even notice whether you work 6 hours a week or 60. But if you have something of value to provide that matters to us, a number of us will be happy to pull out our wallets and pay you for it. We don't care about your time and dash, we only care enough to pay for the value we receive. Do you really care how long it took me to write this article? Would you pay me twice as much if it took me 6 hours versus only 3? Non-dummies often start out on the traditional income for dummies path. So don't feel bad if you're just now realizing you've been sucked at. Non-dummies eventually realize that trading time for money is indeed extremely dumb and that there must be a better way. And of course there is a better way. The key is to decouple your value from your time. Smart people build systems that generate income 24/7, especially passive income. This can include starting a business, building a website, becoming an investor, or generating royalty income from creative work. The system delivers the ongoing value to people and generates income from it, and once it's in motion, it runs continuously whether you tend to it or not. From that moment on, the bulk of your time can be invested in increasing your income by refining your system or spawning new ones instead of merely maintaining your income. This website is an example of such a system. At the time of this writing, it generates about $9,000 a month in income for me. Update: $40,000 a month as of 10/31/06 October 13, 2016, and it isn't my only income stream either. I write each article just once, fixed time investment, and people can extract value from them year after year. The web server delivers the value, and other systems, most of which I didn't even build and don't even understand, collect income and deposit it automatically into my bank account. It's not perfectly passive, but I love writing and would do it for free anyway. But of course it cost me a lot of money to launch this business. Right. Yeah, $9 is an awful lot these days to register the domain name. Everything after that was profit. Sure, it takes some upfront time and effort to design and implement your own income-generating systems. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Feel free to use existing systems like ad networks and affiliate programs. Once you get going, you won't have to work so many hours to support yourself. Wouldn't it be nice to be out having dinner with your spouse, knowing that while you're eating, you're earning money? If you want to keep working long hours because you enjoy it, go right ahead. If you want to sit around doing nothing, feel free. As long as your system continues delivering value to others, you'll keep getting paid whether you're working or not. Your local bookstore is filled with books containing workable systems others have already designed, tested, and debugged. Nobody is born knowing how to start a business or generate investment income, but you can easily learn it. How long it takes you to figure it out is irrelevant because the time is going to pass anyway. You might as well emerge at some future point as the owner of income-generating systems as opposed to a lifelong wage slave. This isn't all or nothing. If your system only generates a few $100s a month, that's a significant step in the right direction.
You might think it's important to get a job to gain experience, but that's like saying you should play golf to get experience playing golf. You gain experience from living, regardless of whether you have a job or not. A job only gives you experience at that job, but you gain experience doing just about anything, so that's no real benefit at all. Sit around doing nothing for a couple years, and you can call yourself an experienced meditator, philosopher, or politician.
The problem with getting experience from a job is that you usually just repeat the same limited experience over and over. You learn a lot in the beginning and then stagnate. This forces you to miss other experiences that would be much more valuable. And if your limited skill set ever becomes obsolete, then your experience won't be worth squat. In fact, ask yourself what the experience you're gaining right now will be worth in 20-30 years. Will your job even exist then?
Consider this. Which experience would you rather gain? The knowledge of how to do a specific job really well one that you can only monetize by trading your time for money, or the knowledge of how to enjoy financial abundance for the rest of your life without ever needing a job again? Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the latter experience. That seems a lot more useful in the real world, wouldn't you say?
Getting a job is like enrolling in a human domestication program. You learn how to be a good pet. Look around you. Really look. What do you see? Are these the surroundings of a free human being? Or are you living in a cage for unconscious animals? Have you fallen in love with the color beige? How's your obedience training coming along? Does your master reward your good behavior? Do you get disciplined if you fail to obey your master's commands? Is there any spark of free will left inside you? Or has your conditioning made you a pet for life? Humans are not meant to be raised in cages. You poor thing.